Before we dive into this episode, I wanted to let you know about a live virtual training we're hosting the first week of January 2023. It's called How to Lower Insulin Resistance: 5 Keys to Lower Blood Sugar, Lose Weight, and Keep It Off. In it, you'll learn the one mindset shift that helped our Zivli member Rebecca lose 50 pounds and counting, why you're not seeing results even though you're eating healthy, ways you're raising your blood sugar without even realizing it, the simple framework to actually change your health habits for good, and new information about insulin resistance that your doctor may not even know. If you're watching or listening to this episode live, if you can, pause the episode and register right now while it's top of mind. Go to www.zivli.com/training. That's www.zivli.com/training. To make it as easy for you as possible, you can also just message me training, a direct message on Instagram, the word training, and my handle is at Dr. Morgan Nolte, and I'd be happy to help you get registered. And of course, we're going to leave a link to register in the show notes and the description for this episode too. We're hosting 2 times for you to attend live. One is Tuesday, January 3rd at 11 a.m. Central Time, and the other is Friday, January 6th at 1 p.m. Central Time. You'll see on the registration form, there is also the option to get the replay if you're not able to attend live. This training is going to be so good and so valuable, and we cannot wait to share it with you. We hope to see you there. Now let's dive into this episode. Hey there, I'm Dr. Morgan Nolte, founder of Zivli, and today you'll learn 5 things that you can do to stay healthy when traveling for the holiday. And I have a bonus tip at the end that's an excellent tip that one of our Zivli members actually told me recently in office hours from something that she learned with her Thanksgiving experience. It was something that I hadn't even thought about, and I love the idea so much that I wanted to share it with you. Now, this episode goes really well with another episode called 10 Healthy Thanksgiving Tips to Keep Insulin Low. That episode covered more of the nutritional strategies, so what to eat and how to eat to keep insulin low and blood sugar low. This episode is covering other lifestyle factors and mindset. So I highly encourage you to use both of these episodes as you're making your plan for the holiday. We'll link to that episode in the show notes and description of this one. This time of year is a really great reminder that your environment is a big factor in your emotions and actions. You may have your health habits dialed in at home, but then maybe you get derailed easily when you're out of your routine. I know this has happened to me so many times. Over the years, I've developed the ability to not let external circumstances influence my internal state. This definitely takes time, intention, and practice, but you can learn how to control your thoughts, emotions, and actions no matter where you are. The first tip is to move your body every day. This is, of course, going to look different for everyone. We recommend a minimum of 10 minutes of movement a day, ideally closer to 30, but if you're not a regular exerciser, that can seem maybe a little unrealistic. And if something seems unrealistic to you, what your brain does is it just ignores it or it dismisses it altogether. So we're traveling for the holidays this year and staying in a place where I know I have a DVD player and a place to exercise. I also know it's going to be cold and that I'm a fair weather sport when it comes to exercising outside. I like to be warm and cozy. So I have a plan to bring a set of dumbbells so that I can either use the Fit On app on my phone or my Jillian Michaels Ripped in 30 DVD that I've had since college. Another thing I love doing over the holidays are longer runs or walk runs. We're going to be in a place where there's plenty of family around to watch my kids. Hallelujah. So if the weather is nice outside, I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of that and going on some longer, more luxurious walks in the nice weather. So the reason that movement is one of the first on this list is because it's such a powerful stress reliever. We know that the holidays are not void of stress. You may have tension in relationships. You may be celebrating a holiday this year for the first time without a loved one, and old memories are coming back that might be hurtful. Maybe this time of year brings up past memories of losing a loved one and you're missing them. So, exercise literally increases your brain endorphins and helps you feel better. The deep breathing that you do during exercise actually helps relieve the stress too. So that is my number one priority when traveling or on vacation is to move my body at least 30 minutes a day. But maybe yours can be just 10. Even 10 minutes of gentle stretching before bed or while watching TV is definitely better than nothing. The second tip to stay healthy while traveling is to plan your travel food. Now, we're just doing a road trip, not very long. So we're not going to be in the airport, but I don't plan on buying anything to eat from a gas station. In fact, I don't plan to eat anything at all on our 5-hour road trip. I'm just going to choose to have liquids only in the car. Now, for me, this is going to look like a LaCroix, water, maybe some decaf coffee if I'm really struggling. And eating in the car for me, it really used to be something that I struggled with. I did it out of boredom and habit. And it's a really easy way to add unnecessary calories. And the convenience foods that we often eat in the car contribute to blood sugar spikes if they're high in processed carbohydrates. And for me, I wasn't necessarily doing that, but they did have sweeteners like protein bars. And it kind of just made me want more and more sweet stuff. Now, even though they do have sweeteners, I still like to use protein bars when I'm traveling via a plane. So the airport is loaded with unhealthy food, and something just rubs me the wrong way about spending so much money for food in the airport when I can just pack healthier food ahead of time. So, aside from the protein bars, other food that's easy to pack are almonds or other nuts, pumpkin seeds, string cheese, olives, fruit, and meat sticks. If you must get something from the airport, try to choose a low insulin option with plenty of protein, healthy fat, and fiber. And choose whole foods whenever possible when traveling. The third tip that dovetails off of the second is to skip the snacks. A lot of times when we're traveling, there is like dead time, right? So you're sitting in the car, you're sitting in the plane, you're waiting for the plane. And if you're not mindful, it's really easy to fill this time with food. When they bring the pretzels on the plane, you can politely decline or just give them to someone else. Those pretzels are what we call naked carbs. They are just starches with no protein, fat, or fiber. So what happens is your blood sugar spikes and then you crave more carbohydrates. Choosing not to snack at your destination can help too. In our family, there's always food around. Animal crackers, M&Ms, grapes, cookies, cheese and crackers, all of those kinds of foods are out where we're going to be going to celebrate Christmas. So once I get started, it's really hard to stop and it's easier for me to just not start. So I have a preset boundary about how much I'll have or if I'll have any at all. If you can have the self-discipline to say no once, it's likely that you won't have to say no 10 or 100 times after that. I highly encourage you to just stick with your normal meal times whenever possible. You can compile the foods I just mentioned into a meal if you're traveling or if you're maybe in the airplane over your normal meal time. You can also use intermittent fasting and just choose not to eat when traveling. This works especially well when you're coming home from the vacation or the holiday, and maybe you overate a little bit and you have some extra calories to use up. The fourth tip I have for you is to prioritize sleep. When you're traveling, you may be a little bit outside of your normal sleep environment. I always bring earplugs and an eye mask when I'm traveling so that I can have more control over my sleep environment. Another thing I always bring are my blue light blocking glasses. Now, if you don't already have these, I highly recommend them. They have drastically improved the quality of my sleep. Now, you do need the amber colored ones, and I'm going to put a link in the show notes or the description for which ones I use. I recommend wearing these blue light blockers about 2 hours before you want to be asleep. What this does is block the blue light from coming into your eyes. Now, this will help lower cortisol levels and allow melatonin to increase for better sleep. If you're around family members that like to stay up late playing games, drinking, and talking, set and stick with your boundaries. You might have to get over the fear of missing out and the fear of criticism or judgment from others if you choose to go to bed at a decent time instead of staying up late, maybe drinking and playing games. Getting over those fears of other people's opinions of you is just part of changing your lifestyle. You'll feel a lot better in the morning if you get a good night of sleep. And sleep deprivation has been shown to increase carb cravings, increase ghrelin or your hunger hormone, and decrease your feelings of fullness. You will be way more likely to overeat and overeat carbohydrates if you're sleep deprived. So be proactive and prioritize your sleep. The fifth tip is to make your mindset work a priority. I know that traveling can be absolutely crazy, especially with kids. But if I have to get up 30 minutes before everyone else to start my day with my morning mindset routine, I will. My daily mindset routine is a non-negotiable in my life because when I read my personal faith formula and practice gratitude, I am such a better person to be around for everyone else for the rest of the day. I want to make the most out of my time with my family, but I can't do that if my bucket is empty. If my emotional bucket is empty, I can't give to others. I also know that if I don't read my personal faith formula that says I prioritize my emotional and physical health every day, then I'm less likely to prioritize my physical health and more likely to overeat, especially the sugary stuff. Now, I learned that one the hard way on vacation with friends last summer in New York. I did not do my mindset work, and I had more sugar in 1 week than the entire year. Now, this was for many reasons, but one was definitely that I didn't do my mindset work every day, and my environment was different. Now, again, I didn't really talk about food a lot in this episode because I covered that a lot in the episode I previously mentioned about 10 tips to keep insulin low over Thanksgiving. Those same tips are going to be applicable for Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, and any other holiday. Now, the 2 tips in that episode worth reiterating here are to create proactive and intentional boundaries around sweets, carbs, and alcohol, and to use allowing language when it comes to food. Please go back and re-listen to that episode before you have your holiday meals. The bonus tip that I learned from one of our Zivli members after Thanksgiving is to have a plan for when you get home. She did really well during Thanksgiving and that weekend, but didn't really have a plan for Monday. So that threw her off for a couple of days before she really got back on track. If you can have a healthy meal or two in the freezer that's ready to go when you get home, that's going to help set you up for success when you get back. You can also do a loose meal plan or just plan on some simple things like a smoothie or eggs. The point is to have a plan for how you're going to get right back on track when you get home and when you're in your own environment again. I know tracking macronutrients over the holidays is a little bit more difficult, so when you get back in your normal environment, you can consider doing that again as well. So that's a really quick way to get back on track, pun intended, I love a good pun, with your nutrition is to track your macros. If you don't know how to do that and you want to get started, we have free trainings. We'll put a link in the description in the show notes, or you can message me macros on Instagram and I can help get those trainings to you. All right, I hope that you found this episode really helpful. And don't forget to register for our free live training in January on how to lower insulin resistance. Just send me a direct message on Instagram at Dr. Morgan Nolte that says training, and I will help get you registered. Be sure to tune back in a couple of days because we have a special episode coming out about how to not eat all of the sugar this holiday season. I'll talk with you again soon.